Greetings, everybody. Back with today we will start chapter 10. Shadow Can't Help It. That is going to be the title of chapter 10. Shadow Can't Help It, and this will cover the separation. Be our third separation, our first separation as a married couple. Daughter has turned 13, and she messed around and got pregnant, and our relationship sort of soured. Instead of growing close and trying to figure out a way to deal with it together, she kind of turned her back on me and distanced herself from me. I was disappointed at first with the pregnancy, but herself talking to me about it, and she decided to pull away from her. Yeah, so I kind of hurt a little bit. I'd raised her since she was 2 or 3 years old, and the first major crisis she ever had in her life, she turns her back on me and kind of pulls away from her. Marriage was crumbling, of course, on top of everything else. Lost my second chance at a college education. It didn't work out. So, things are going kind of rough. Between me and the Mrs. Rhonda, and it just wasn't going very well. And of course, the fighting was getting really, really heated, getting closer and closer to the separation. So, with all this on my mind, kind of created the backdrop for this next poem, Sitting in the Dark. It's conveying a message. Yes, I'm feeling alone. But if a person dwells too long on hatred and anger and depression, and I want to strike back in revenge, the person ends up becoming lost. And that's kind of what this poem is conveying. That even though I was in an angry state of mind, I knew I had to eventually find a way to get out of it. Because if you dwell there too long, it's going to fuck with you, and it's going to lead you down a path that you can't come back from. So that's what Sitting in the Dark is all about. And if by chance it hits somebody, strikes a chord with somebody by reading this poem to them, then I've done my job. I've done what I wanted to do, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to convey a message. You can't sit in the dark for very long, because if you do, you might not ever have a chance to see the light again. You'll get lost there, and you'll stay there, and yeah, it's not a good place to be. So this is the poem. Excuse me. Let me drink a water tea here. Get the frog out of my throat. Sitting in the Dark. Sit there in the dark. Hear the silence around you. Hear how deafening it is, how serene. Sit there in the dark. Feel the shadows surround you, engulf you, embrace you. Sit there in the dark. Nothing but darkness as you feel empty. Hurried movement all around. Sit there in the dark. The longer you're there, the more angry you become, the more distraught. Sit there in the dark. You stand to your feet, eyes bloodshot, a blank stare, your body is trembling. Sit there in the dark. A horrific scene. Blood splatters on the ground, a head rolling away. Sit there in the dark, clothes blood-soaked, axe in hand, you have a look of bewilderment. Sit there in the dark, a haunting tree before you, a rope, you climb, you hang. Sit there in the dark. For too long you sat there. Now you're no more. You're gone. You're dead. It's dark.
Just a little bit.
But the message being sent here is
don't let wrath control you.
Don't let wrath control you. Let it control you and it end up killing you. Not just you physically, but your soul as well. So you find a way to get out of it. Because you can't sit there too long and dwell on it. You have to find positive outlets to ease your mind, ease your pain. Because the separation is all but inevitable. It's almost here. And there's not a whole lot more I can do. But I can't sit there and dwell on the fact of what's going to happen. I have to figure out the best way to deal with it. Revenge is never the answer. Karma finds its way. To everybody that does somebody wrong, to everybody that does somebody good, karma either makes you pay the price or rewards you in one way or the other. So you don't have to go seeking revenge. You don't have to go seeking wrath. You don't have to go seeking out ways to cause pain on someone. Just sit back and let life take care of itself. And it will. It will. Eventually, life will come full circle and everything will take care of itself. But anyway, like I said, it's getting closer. No breakup or separation is ever easy, but you know, for the kids' sake, we had to find some sort of a resolution to ease the fighting. Neither one of us wanted to continue the fighting. It was getting ugly. It was getting hateful. We wanted to try to seek a friendly departure and try to find a friendship that we've been searching for several years. And eventually we'll get there. So I went from sitting in the dark to being intoxicated with emotion. No, not getting drunk, not getting wasted. It's getting to an emotional state of mind where you're trying to keep from being negative. You're wanting to be positive. So you just kind of stay mellow. You try to find a way to relax your mind a little bit. And this is what intoxicating is all about. It's about finding a way to relax your mind a bit. Intoxicating. Laid back, I am, placing the headphones upon my head. The music begins to play, piercing my brainwaves, intertwining with my emotional being, making an effort to soothe my spirit. The success is amazing as my nerves begin to relax from the tension of the day. I feel engulfed by a calm feeling, comfortable I begin to be. I close my eyes. It almost feels as if I'm floating in air. I feel nothing around me but sensations of pure peace. Seems I waited all day for this moment. The feeling almost intoxicating. As I return from this feeling of tranquility, a sigh comes from deep within. I sit up. I stand to my feet. As I rise up slowly, I walk toward the door and open it gingerly. The wind blows lightly upon my face, and the birds are singing in beautiful unison. Go from dark to relaxation.
That's a flip-flop coin right there, I guess.
That's just what?
It's like a coin right there.
It's like a coin flip. That's what I'm saying. Get rid of the dark. Get rid of the dark entity that's haunting you, that's aggravating you, and you find a way to relax. Because if you don't, it'll engulf you. Okay, that's the message between those 2 points. Don't sit there and dwell on anger. You find a way to relax your mind. Find your happy spot. Find somewhere that gives you a sense of peace. Okay? So, like I said, the separation was inevitable. I ended up moving to my grandpa's. I agreed to pay him $200 of rent, but I'm not going to stay there for free and mooch off of him. And her and I agreed to give her $400 a month to help, to pay the house payment so she can cover everything else, because she wasn't going to cover everything else without me there. I took one of the vehicles, a few personal items, while leaving everything else there. But it was still my house, and I'm still going to be there. It's just I'm not going to live there. I would get the twins on the weekends, and she would come pick them up on Sunday evenings. And as I was driving home to my new home, to my grandpa's now, a dove flew across my front of my car as I was driving. And I was kind of curious as to why a dove would fly across my... And I called. Let's see, who do I call? I think I called my mother. I'm not sure. I may have called my mother. Dove is usually the common sign of peace. And then I seen a rather odd creature across the road soon after. This gave me an odd feeling. I called her about the dove. I called my mom, and she said it was a sign of peace. But the other sighting gave me the impression that a major conflict looking ahead. So, I'm not sure how to put it. I knew peace was inevitably going to come my way, but there's going to be a conflict beforehand. And you'll see how all this unfolds in the next few chapters. There's going to be a conflict before the peace, and that's what this implication was all about. One person, anyway, the guy wants to be, no matter how bad someone acts towards you, you be nice. The other one said, keep walking. Sooner or later, you'll come to the light at the end of the tunnel. There was a couple of co-workers I used to work with kind of told me that, and kind of gave me some advice, some guidance. Yeah, it holds true. If someone's being mean to you, you try to be nice to them. You don't be mean back. Yeah, you get no relief out. You get no satisfaction out of it. You might get 5 seconds of satisfaction, but eventually you're gonna feel like, well, I'm just as shitty as that person right there. And that's how you feel. And if you keep walking, you keep fighting, you keep striving, and you're in a dark tunnel, eventually you'll find your way out of that tunnel. You'll find the sunshine again. You just gotta keep moving forward. You can't stop there and sit there, sitting in the dark. You can't sit in the dark. You gotta keep moving forward.
Like that one song, you're walking through hell, keep going.
Yeah.
You don't want to stay in hell. Keep going.
Things were going okay a little bit. And I got them season passes to Magic Springs, which is a theme park out of Hot Springs,
I miss that
Arkansas.
place.
They had a blast. Jacob here, his favorite ride was
This little weird swing.
was the pirate ship.
That and the pirate ship, yeah.
It was a pirate ship.
Pirate ship and the swing that would go around in a circle like merry-go-round.
Yeah, and that was
But it would, like tilt.
that was
Like
Isaac's
tilt and
main.
shit.
That was Isaac's main attraction was the swing. That was your number 2 ride. Your number
Pirate
one
ship was my favorite.
Your number 1 ride was a pirate ship. And they both loved the Gauntlet. They loved
I was
the
scared
shit
at first, but that thing's
They
awesome.
loved the shit out of the Gauntlet.
One ride I'm not going to go on is the X Coaster. The hell no. No, thank you. I also like the Spine Breaker. That's what I'm calling it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it's called. But all the little like turns were right angles. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh yeah, that was a rough ride.
I loved it. I don't know why I
Magic
loved it.
Spring. There was a theme park, water park, both in one. You can go swim the better part of the day, and then come back and ride the rides and dry off. It was fun. It was exciting, and that was our weekend getaway every weekend. That was our getaway. If I had the money to go, we went. If not, we went to the park. They drove their remote control cars around. And if Dad didn't have money to do that, we'd hang out in the room and watch movies. My attempt, though, is always to find a peaceful resolution to everything, all the fighting around the world. It was a plague that needed to be stopped, even if it was just through my mind. I'm 35 now. My birthday's coming. My birthday present this year was taking the twins to the Springs after season passes. That was my birthday present. That was my first birthday after I moved out. So I formed this next form, Virtual Peace. And like I said, Virtual Peace was trying to find a peaceful resolution to conflict. And that's what Virtual Peace is all about. The poem itself is about trying to find a way to, calm the world with all the shooting and the violence and the rioting. Now I'm going through a separation with my sons, having to deal with. So we're going to read this Virtual Peace. We're going to end this segment and bid you adieu. So here's Virtual Peace. It's been a bad day. A day I wish to forget. A day that never happened, but most certainly did. I can't seem to get this day off my mind. I turn to see what's on television. It's an attempt to ease my weary mind. The immediate result is a couple fighting. Choosing to use my special powers from within, the power to change, a blessing from the mind and will to create. Forming a lightly colored red ball of electricity. With my hand, I hurl it through the screen. It enters with a blinding flash of electrical sparks. It succumbs the couple, overwhelming them with peace. They began dancing together in romantic fashion. The ball is a musical charge of peace. The next channel shows gang members. They are preparing to do fight each other. The ball strikes each of them, and calm is restored. Just try yet another channel. Here, a stalker. He's following a hapless female to harm her. The ball hits him, and he kisses her hand and bids farewell. He dances away into the darkness of the night. The would-be victim, astonished and amazed. Let's move on to one last channel. A war is going on. Bombs dropping everywhere. People are screaming and gunfire at random. The ball explodes outward, covering the battlefield. It blankets everyone and everything around. One by one, the weapons are becoming silent. Two entire armies are now dancing in unison of celebration. I now switch to the news channel. Nothing to report, since the whole world has overcome with joy. A strange phenomenon has occurred. No one is fighting. The ball returns to me, while the visual stimulation continues. Everyone inside the box is dancing in great jubilation. I have a seat, kick off my shoes, and relax. I feel better now. Like that
I
one?
like to have that power.
That was pretty neat. I kind of like that myself. That was pretty interesting. But like I said, we're going to keep this one short because I'm kind of out of time. And we'll that way we can get this next chapter, chapter 10, rolling. And of course, we'll be back with episode 38. This is 37. Okay, just got done with. We'll do 38 soon. So enjoy catching up, and we'll be in touch. And in the meantime, be safe. Stay out of the dark. And listen, look at the hand waving at you. Take care. Peace.